We live, lit. Give me un momento to get some things together. Ooh, I was a little laggy today, but we're here. So give me a second. I'm gonna get the IG set up. But thank you for watching this replay or joining me while you're here. Hey, hey, whoever that is. Give me a moment to get on this IG live. Okay. Make sure there's nothing suspicious in the background. Okay. Okay. Hey. Hey. Alrighty, dighty. So, as you can see here, I have a page with some things on it already. It's a piece that I did when I was in college, going to Glendale Community College, taking art classes, and it was about just like kind of repetition, like drawing an audience um, out of just like simple shapes, like working with perspective. Because as you can see, it's like you got the front people there, and then it starts to get smaller and smaller. So it looks like it's a whole crowd of people, when really it's just a bunch of squiggly lines and dots. Art. Hello, Instagram. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad you're connected and everything's ready to go. I was just explaining on the YouTube things that we're working with a piece that is kind of pre-drawn that I drew in like 2019. Okay. Um, that works with lines and creating perspective and stuff like that. And I just wanted to add to it today. Like that's kind of the goal, the intention for today. But if you're just catching this and you're not really sure what's going on, who I am, my name is Anjulique, also known as Anjulique the Artist. And I am a spiritual life coach and youth mental wellness advocate, as well as an expressionist artist. And I am doing these create and Q&As to open up my time and open up the floor to have conversations about whatever. Really, I put the topics up there so there's some kind of um, focus for me. But outside of that, it's really just um, an open floor conversation. And as a life coach, certified professional, I am open to answering some questions, offering you some questions to help you process some things that you may be going through um, around the topic. And yeah, I'm just here also to create because I am also an artist. And I find being creative very therapeutic and just releasing and pleasant. And if you want to see the art and the process, you gotta go over to the YouTube things. That's youtube.com/angelique.com. I think you have to put the little at. So /at angelique.com spelled out. And you can watch that. And if you're more interested in catching that replay and hitting that 2x speed to just kind of watch things come to life, um, you're more than welcome to do that as well. So, today I wanted to touch on action because I am in the uh, Lisa Nichols Legendary Speaker Challenge. And every day she gives us homework to do. And I feel like that homework Well, she mentions that the homework. Let me slide this over just a smidgy so you can see me while I'm doing this. Okay, here we go. Um, she mentions that the homework is kind of meant to put us in action and kind of build our momentum and keep us in action. So, when I say it's about action, it really is about action. And um, it's action in a way where you have to be accountable for yourself and really show up however you feel um, like you want to show up. She allows us to do the homework as um, like a video, or we can do it like as a comment on it, like as a written comment. And you get to show up and be in action how you want to be in action. Hey Priscilla, I hope you're feeling better. Um, I've been praying for you. But yeah, she offers us the opportunity to be in action in different ways, and you get to decide how you want to show up and how you want to play uh, in the game. You feel me? And I think it's been really powerful for me to go through this experience at this time because I am doing the Worthy of Wealth online conference. I am building my clientele as a um, facilitator for my Time for Teens program. And being in action through these different homework things is helping to um, kind of build that muscle within myself. And um, it's nice just to have that um, going. And I'm glad that you're feeling better. Yay! I'm excited for the room tomorrow because I'm off and I'll be able to just sit and chill and hang out. But yeah, it's a really beautiful way to uh, just be accountable with community that's also being in action. And I wanted to bring that up today because um, I haven't been in action as much as I've wanted to be in action. And I say that in a sense of being of service. When I think of being in action as far as being a youth mental wellness advocate, I think about being in the community, talking to young people, holding space for young people, engaging on ways that we can create safe spaces, being a part of the solution, like being in it. You feel me? And it's just felt very much like I'm still in the backstage, I'm still at the desk. You feel me? Just, trying to figure out how to get everything started really, really. And I've had some kind of major breakthroughs recently about how I have been stagnating myself because I have this idea that, oh, I'm here in this area temporarily and I'm planning on like being somewhere else and like having all of these like future ideas. You feel me? Like, has there ever been a time when you're just so stuck in your future ideas that you like don't do anything in the present because you're so like, okay, when the time comes for this, then I'll do the thing, or when this thing happens, then I can do the thing. Or because I'm in such and such situation, I can't do the thing because this isn't here yet. You feel me? Yes, Priscilla. And that's where I found myself. And I had to really look at that part of who I am being, was being now, because I have decided to shift from that mindset and take accountability and say, I can be in action now. I am capable of being in action now. Yes, things are still kind of molding and transforming. Yes, I am in a temporary space. Yes, I do have plans for the future. However, I want to create an impact. And the only way I can satisfy that desire to create an impact is to be in action. Be in action creating. And yeah, I've been in action doing my social media posting. And I've been, showing up for different things online. And I had, a new person come in for the Time for Teens discussion, and that was really cool. And I'm in action on these other ways, but my real goal is to impact the youth, the young people, so that they have a brighter hope for the future. Um, Priscilla asks, how do you hold yourself accountable to the things you want to do? That's a beautiful question. Um, so I would say to hold yourself accountable for the things you want to do, first you have to have a clear idea of what you want to do and why. Because your why will move you. Your why will have you question, um, how can I be of service? How can I do this? What are the steps I need to take? Who is it that I need to connect to? Because your why will fuel you into um, inspired action. And when you want to hold yourself accountable for taking that action, you think on that why, and you say, and this is something that Lisa has been bringing up a lot during this uh, summit, this speaker summit, is what's the I want to use the proper word. What's the consequence of you not taking action? What's the consequence of you not sharing your story? What's the consequence of you not writing your book, creating that workshop, holding space for that retreat? What are the consequences? Who's going to lose out because you didn't step up, because you didn't show up? And there's something in the human spirit, and let me know if this is true for you, because I found it true for myself. There's something in the human spirit that has the desire to contribute. There was a time when that part of me was very people pleasing, very over giving, and very like self deprecating. And it left me in a place where I felt used, where I felt unheard, where I felt exhausted. But then once I started to develop self awareness on creating boundaries, and I started to see that my service and my time and my energy have value, contribute value, and not just in a monetary sense, in a spiritual sense, in um, an idea sense, where people have fresh ideas, where people have a new perspective of themselves. I started to see, oh, I can be of service, I can give, and also have value in that, and see myself as valuable and put myself forward as valuable. So I would say to hold yourself accountable for the things you want to do. Again, know what you want to do and why, and allow yourself to say, hey, this is what I do, this is why I do it, and what I do and why I do it are valuable. And I deserve to um, ask for that value. I deserve to um, just show up as that value. So, yeah, that would be my answer to that. I don't want to get too much on with that, but self accountability is so important. Let's do a little progress update. I'm just drawing some um, balloons here because I felt like I wanted it to be celebratory. Because it's like when you're in action, you have to celebrate yourself. And that's a way to kind of keep yourself in action. There are some universal laws that talk about action. Um, and there's inspired action, and then there's perpetual motion. So, like an object in motion stays in motion. So, an object in action stays in action. And that includes human beings. And that includes you doing whatever it is that you decide that you want to be doing in this world. Um, so, when you get yourself into action, it's easier to stay in action if you just keep things as ideas, if you just keep them as thoughts in your mind. The mind can start to convolute things to make them seem larger than they are, to make them seem less significant than they are. Um, and that stops a lot of people from being in action. That stops a lot of people from moving on that thing that's in their soul, that's shaking their heart, that's um, sparking in their mind again and again and again, and they just can't seem to shake it. But their mind is like, oh, this thing is so big. This thing is so regular. This thing is so unnecessary. Why would I do that? You feel me? But when you start getting in action, it brings the reality of the situation to the forefront, and you can assess the results instead of staying stuck in the mind. I know for myself, and this is very recent for me, there was a time very recently that I came across where I had to revamp, restructure the Time for Teens workshop. And I almost said presentation because that's what I was calling it, but yeah, Time for Teens workshop. Because I spoke with my accountability partner. And another way to help accountability is to get a partner if you find yourself being challenged and doing it yourself. Um, and they were saying, like, you should add art into it. And then also, just through talking about the program, about the workshop with them, I realized that I needed to just completely cut off a portion of it, because it just wasn't really there. It wasn't really flowing with the rest of the program, with the rest of the workshop. And I felt like it was just doing not what I wanted it to do. So I had to completely just cut that off and restructure. And, excuse me, in my mind, the idea of restructuring a whole workshop, you see the way I just said a whole workshop. I thought it was like this big thing. Oh, this is like dead. Oops. But it felt like this huge task. It felt like this big thing. I was like, I have to do this, and I have to edit that, and I have to restructure this. And it was like this whole thing. And once I had to look at myself in the mirror and say, if you don't start it, it'll never get done. If you don't do it, it won't get done. If you don't do you, you won't get done. Okay? And so I had to just say to myself, find the time to at least start it. And once I started it, I was in action. And that motion kept going. And I realized, hey, this isn't as involved as I thought it was going to be. This is not as involved as I was expecting it to be. And I was so relieved. I was so relieved um, that it wasn't this huge, major undertaking that I couldn't bear to manage. You know, how often have you um, said to yourself, "Oh, I can't do that. That's too much," or you stopped yourself? We do have a tendency to do that. We have a tendency to look at something in our mind, not have any results on it at all, and just be like, oh, this is going to be a huge, major undertaking. And then we start and we're like, oh, this took 45 minutes. This didn't take any time at all. It did not take days and years and hours of my time. You feel me? There are still some things that I want to go back through and kind of polish up, but I'm in that motion now. I'm in that action now. And so that law of perpetual motion is working in my favor because I was in action. And it also says like an object not in motion will not move unless it's acted upon about from an outside source, um, or from an internal source when it comes to the human person. You feel me? Um, and so I felt like that really uh, came to the front of my awareness when I started working on that again. And there's also, again, the inspired action where um, you receive that spark of inspiration or that nudge from your intuition that says, ooh, go do that. And then you go and do it. And then it leads you to some beautiful serendipity or something awesome that you can celebrate. And it's this wonderful moment where you're like, yeah, I did it. I was inspired to do this thing and then I did it. Yeah. Oh, I gotta put some like little highlights on here. Um, and it's beautiful. I'm trying to think if there's another one, another universal law that's about action. Um, yeah, there's inspired action and there's perpetual motion. And I guess the law of compensation is also about action, where you receive, um, you get compensated based on the amount of what you put in it. You feel me? So if you do your best, you get the best from the situation. Um, and that's something that I kind of mentioned to my nephew recently, how he's in school or they're in school, but he called the other day and he was talking about how he got homework on the first day, and it was really just some questions that the teacher asked about, like how can the teachers be helpful this year? What are some things other students can do to help? Just kind of like opening the school year questions. And I was just saying, like, yeah, like as you go forward, just do your best because that's the best that you can do. And when you do your best, um, that better things happen, especially if you're doing your best over a compounded time. Energy picks that up, people pick that up, environments pick that up, and you can uh, receive more than what you put in because you've been putting in your best on such a consistent basis. So I'm just gonna give this a few more touches here on this piece because we've been on here for like 20 minutes. Um, and I realized that I want to keep these relatively quick, but sometimes I'm just like so in it. But I want to keep these relatively quick for the replayability. So unless somebody else has another question, I only saw Priscilla on here. It looked like she might have hopped off, but sometimes the little Instagram thing isn't accurate with the little who's on here. Um, but yeah, as far as Priscilla's question about holding yourself accountable, if you're watching the replay, let me know how that set with you. Do you know why you do what you do? Do you know what you want to do? Because again, that's something that kept me stagnant for a while. Just not having a clear understanding of um, what I wanted to be doing. And honestly, I was doing my best just to kind of make stuff up and just be like, yes, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing it. I had another program called Art Foundations Training, and that was a online situation that um, I recorded. I did a whole bunch of content for it, and then at the end, when I was like putting it out and whatever, I was like, I do not like this. It's like, I do not even like this. This was a whole lesson. And I had to really see it that way and not be like, oh, this was a waste of my time and blah, blah, blah. I really saw it as this is something that is teaching me how to build and construct presentations and programs and things of that nature. And so, yeah, that was a strong lesson that I had to learn. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this piece up, but you can go check it out over on the YouTubes. Thank you for watching this replay. If you happen to catch the replay, I am here on Wednesdays creating and asking and answering questions. So definitely make sure you hop on, put it on your calendar, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. But yeah, subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you get the notification when I go live. And also, follow me here on the gram so that you can get the notification when I go live. Set me to one of your favorites so that you get the notification when I go live. But yeah, other than that, have a beautiful, wonderful, spectacular, magical day because you deserve it, because you're worthy, because you can create it. I'll see y'all next week. Bye. Okay, YouTube, this is where we are. I feel like I wanted this to be like a celebration of love, just like a heart on fire. That's just like boom, celebration. Let's all celebrate. You feel me? Um, let me give this a little bit more color. A little bit more color. But yeah, this page has set just this audience staring at nothing um, for 3, 4 years now. And so I was like, let's give them something to look at today. And it's one again one of those things where it's like you don't know what to do until you start doing it. And that's important when you are thinking about action and being in action. Um, because again, when you just stay so stuck in the head when you don't move, when you don't move, it just stays hanging out there. It just stays hanging out. And like Les Brown says, so many people die with their dreams still in them. The graveyard is the most valuable place on the planet because so many awesome ideas, businesses, schools, workshops, whatever are in there just rotting in the grave. I also kind of hold the belief of the mind being uh, like a shared experience. So like, excuse me. So like somebody has an idea and then somebody else like around the world has the same idea, because it's just kind of in the ether and the atmosphere. So I feel like the ideas do float around, but again, if people are not inspired to take action, it just keeps lollygagging around in different people's psyches, and nobody wants to act on it. So I hope this encourage you to take some action today. But I think I'm done here. And I'm glad that I added to this because it really makes it more fun. And I found out that this black marker is dead, so I can throw it away. Some of these other ones are probably also dead, but we can do that later. Oh, my battery. Hiya. Hiya. Yes, I am wrapping up. I don't want it to shut down before I'm done. So, this is our piece today. Just, we're celebrating a heart on fire because we all love an inspired individual. You feel me? Even the haters. You feel me? Even the haters have a sort of appreciation. They just um, are not sure how to process in a different way. But we all love a heart on fire, that's enthusiastic and ready to go, even if people are staring at you blankly with no expressions. You will definitely get that attention if you are a heart on fire. So go out into the world and do something that sets your heart on fire because it'll spark the hearts in other people too. I probably could have drawn that in here. Ooh, let's draw one real fast because there's always at least one person that's like, ooh, you sparked my heart. Who wants their heart sparked? Just feel like it wants to be this person. And maybe this one. And maybe this one. And maybe that one. And maybe this one, because they're off looking to the side. But yeah, you never know whose heart you're going to spark just by letting your heart be sparked. Yeah, I love that. So we got some inspired individuals in the audience there, you know? Each one inspire one. But yeah, that's gonna be all for this live today. Thank you for watching. And feel free to join my Instagram saying, oops, never mind, ADC underscore life coaching on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. If you want to join in on some more regular conversations, see more of what I'm up to, I would love to have you. But yeah, other than that, enjoy the rest of your day. You're beautiful and spectacular and are a powerful creator. I will see you next time. Bye.